That bike, the electric bike, is really good. It has a use. It's an option, and it's going to get way better because we're just getting started with it. I'll have to kind of switch.
Did you do that?
Don't touch the screen. If you touch, tell them what happened.
Spun it right off from under you.
Roosted the piss out of me.
Yes. Okay. So we're live somehow
sure?
or another. I'm pretty positive.
Why'd you cut me off?
Because you can't see anything. This stupid screen setup. We were supposed to check this earlier.
Oh, because
and make it work. So welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is episode number, I believe, 254. Give me that bottle right there. The whole stinking thing. Yeah, I like doing remote shows.
Out of here in
What's that?
Northwest Montana.
It's a muzzle shot. Okay. Oh, you're gonna tell people where you're at.
Northwest Montana. That's it.
This is the show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle-related products. George quit like almost everything.
Went Canadian.
Remember George? George used to come on the show when he used to ride dirt bikes. He used to have a beer with me on the show.
I paused my riding because I hurt my ribs when I was out. That's what happened. I came out there and I rode.
In Pahrump, Valley of the Dirt People.
Fell over in the sand because I should always practice circles in the sand.
We've got an exciting show for you
and
tonight.
I broke a rib.
So you broke a rib. Well, I like to cut people off.
I know.
That's kind of the MO. What about the drinking?
I stopped drinking. It'll be 3 years, right?
3 years?
3 years
Good.
Thanksgiving.
Good for you. You watch him. I did the first one myself, but you watch, he'll try to overserve me. It's kind of like his thing.
Are you sure we're on, or are we just talking to ourselves?
I think we're on. I'm recording it no matter what.
You're not live. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's getting recorded no matter what. So, I don't know how many people are in. I usually have a thing that I can see. I have 3 screens in front of me.
Oh,
now we're working on one screen. The sun's shining in my stinking eyes. I can't see anything on my own screen. Sound like a complaining, whining little you-know-what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you can hear us, if the sound's working, please...
send something up.
Yeah, put something in the chat. That'll help. Yeah, I was going to check on my own thing here.
No tacos. It is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, you don't do tacos in Montana. It's pizza.
No good Mexican food up here.
Okay. Yeah, we found a really good place right down the street. So what else did you quit? You stopped doing something else. Riding, drinking, something else. What'd you stop doing? Huh? Because I was wondering why you quit riding, because that's not bad for you. But then I figured it because you got the roids, really bad.
Oh, I'm 15 years into that, Jimmy.
Okay, good. So now everybody knows this. That's really good. So tonight on tonight's show, we're going to talk about Stark Varg. I wrote a Stark Varg.
What about the stuff I want to talk about? What have you been doing in Northwest Montana?
We're going to talk about a Honda XR150. We can talk about a Triumph. People say I don't know what I'm talking about because my impression was very different from another outlet's impression.
Is that the dirt bike Triumph?
That's the off-road one, yes. The off-road one. We can answer your motorcycle and motorcycle product-related questions, and we have a special guest joining us live from someplace else north of where I'm from, and that means someplace different, is my new buddy, Riley.
No, we're looking at the chat.
The chat?
We're looking at the chat.
Oh, I don't want, no,
Yeah,
I got to switch that. How's this?
There we go.
There's Riley.
I'm on the screen, though.
It's living underground. Is because then you don't have all the sun coming in and blinding you like it is right now. So I can understand why that happens someplace. But I'm going to be very careful because we are less than a mile from the border of that place. Yeah? You ever watch Bob and Doug?
Don't treat me like some kind of hoser.
There we go. Yeah, I knew he was going to pull that out. So if you have questions, go ahead and throw them up in the chat that I can't see.
Sweating up Justin's hat or Brian's hat.
Riley is... I met Riley through a good friend of mine, Mike Gosler, who you may remember was, among others, Ricky Carmichael's mechanic when he was winning all those championships. I swung by. He has a shop in Grangeville. So if you're riding along in the BDR out dual sport riding, you need a little bit of assistance, or you want to get your bike worked on by someone who knows what they're doing, unlike me half
Or
the
if your
time.
tires are checked and blow up on the way up in your truck.
No,
right?
this
wasn't that there.
No, that was in McCall. This is for motorcycles only. Oh yeah, I saw him working on a UTV and I kind of had to laugh, but that was mean. I said, hey, Mike he had to go deep sea fishing or something, and he goes, I got this kid that would probably like to go riding with you.
And that's Riley.
That's Riley. And so
I heard good things about him so far. Good reports.
Good. So
They abused his boots.
So kid comes rolling in on a one wheel, so that's already good. He's got some balance. It's like the Tylers. They roll around on those one wheels. Zips in on a one wheel, and Mike goes, "There's something I have to tell you." And Riley said, "Don't tell him about my bike." And he's got a Stark Varg, and damn proud of it.
Are a lot of those things out now? Finally.
Yeah.
In around?
Yeah, they're out. Riley, you know how many of those things are out and around?
I don't know the total count that they've sold, but I'd assume it's got to be. I'd hope they've sold more than 3,000, maybe.
Okay.
Probably more than that, but I'd hope it's.
Uh-oh. Shoot. I just screwed something up
He
there.
punched something. Riley went and zipped him.
Yeah,
away.
wait a minute. This is how I work.
No,
this.
he's still here.
No,
wait.
no,
I'm
he's
delayed.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're on the
He
delay.
went blank screen.
Hey, I totally hosed you there, eh?
Yeah, that's all right.
Wait, so you're gonna have to. So,
Good one.
yeah, good one. Jeez, How come that did? I pushed the wrong button, which is normal. That's how I run the show.
By the way, our technical support is brought to you by Interbell Communications,
Who-
Northwest Montana's largest provider.
Yeah, Victor wants to know who that commie comrade sitting next to you. Those are
Victor, my bro.
Victor. Yeah. Okay, so Riley, go
Victor,
back.
last time I talked to Victor, he was in Guantanamo on the 5th deck of the bed, sitting behind bars. He was waving like a frantic man on CNN or something.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Is Riley back in the meeting?
Yep.
You're back. Yeah, so you're back in the meeting and you're back on the show. I hope. There we go. Okay. So continue about the Stark. Sorry for interrupting you, but get used to it.
You're all right. Anyways, as far as how many they've sold, I'd hope they've sold more than 3,000 worldwide, but supposedly they sold 1,000 within the first 24 hours of availability. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, when they put up that thing, I know like 5 to 10 of my friends that put that $100 deposit down, and they said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those." And then then immediately after throwing $100, which is nothing, they call me up. They go, "Hey, what do you think?" I didn't know anything about it because I'm usually out riding, and they've been following this thing, or it got announced, and right away everybody did it. And I looked at the comment, I watched the video, I watched the claims, and I kind of said, yeah, bullshit. Not on 80 horsepower, not on electric. They said they were going to have that bike ready in a year, and they said it was going to charge. What was their first claim on the charging?
I bet it was probably 6 hours on 120, and for me, that's about true. I don't fast charge it by any means, but as far as like using a generator on 240, it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, I think they
on 240.
I think they might have said hour of charging. Like you can charge it like in between motos, kind of a thing, which means technically an hour in a lot of cases.
You have multiple batteries and swap them out?
No, not swappable battery. So
there's a guy that does do that when he races Grand Prix with his wife, and they can change them out in like 10 minutes. But
can you run it off of Milwaukee's or something? Because everybody's running 18-volt Milwaukee's and everything.
If you kill the 12-volt VCU battery, you might want a Milwaukee battery with you to recharge the bike because it will not turn back on if that battery goes dead.
You're not affiliated with the manufacturer at all, are you? Just an owner?
No, he's just a regular customer. So what your bike has about 30 hours on it now.
Yeah, coming up on that.
He's let like all of his friends ride it, including me. I don't know why, but so anyway, so back to the so he zips off in his one wheel, and I told him, well, I have an electric chainsaw, so we instantly became buddies. And because people look at me funny for that, but now those are catching on too. And even when I kind of when I heard the Stark thing and all of these people went and made the deposit, I said bullshit, because the claims were just a little bit high. but they delivered on for sure the 80 horsepower. And trust me when I say that's absolutely ridiculous. That's a lot of power. The run times were, I would say, what would you say? Were they comparable with what they first said?
I'd bet you can, for like me doing single track to hardened dirt that they were doing in the video where they claim 6 hours of runtime, stuff like that. I'd say that's probably realistic.
Yeah. Because
like given that we did the loop we did was probably close to, I think it was around 20 miles and I used, we got back at 28%.
Yeah, it was like 30%, but we were out for what, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, and he was not being easy on the throttle, and I was riding it like a normal person. By the way, kid's fast. He races pro up where he's at.
20 miles in 3 hours. That's more than I've ridden in 2 years, I think.
Yeah, I did a couple miles since then, but it was like we were using it normally, and I bet you it would do a 4.5 hour ride, and even when I rode the Alta back in the day, we got I would say less than I want to ride, but plenty for a normal person. So his dad and his dad's buddy went with us, and they were riding their KTM 300s. I was on a KTM 300 also when we were out riding. And so the
300 is just for comparison, the horsepower and torque compared to the horsepower and torque on that Stark. What is a 300 horsepower?
I don't
52.
know.
52,
maybe.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to know what the horsepower is.
I know.
All they talk about is that peak number that nobody ever uses. The
300 makes 57.
There we go. See, this kid, he's got numbers and he's got info.
He's got internet that works.
He's pretty sharp.
I got the whole Varg page pulled up because now they just got more expensive, and now I think the price is kind of becoming more unjustifiable for the common user.
So
what is the price?
Mine was $12,048 tax shipped to my door, and now before tax, as a base model 80 horse, same bike I got. If I wanted to order it today, it would be $13,540 because they just made a new version that kind of follows after their off-road model with the battery and some other things that they did, like a different phone mount, a different phone. The rims are upgraded material. The hubs are different. The harness is different. The frame's a little different. They dropped 10 pounds off the bike from 270 pounds to 260 pounds. But I mean, honestly, the bike handles well enough that I don't really think any of that was really neat. I mean, it's great to get rid of weight and stuff, but then they offer a lot of other garbage along with it.
I'm generally an idiot, but on those understanding the electrics,
Testify.
The torque is like throughout the whole throttle position, right? It's
for the most part.
So is there a way to vary that? So it comes on slow and then hits and all that?
A little bit. So this is and we only, like I said, we went for a little ride. He's way more in tune to this because I said, hey, like there was he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's just switchable through a button. And he was like, we'd stop in the trail, he'd reach over, put his code in, slide some things, and he could change all this stuff. So let's roll back to where we're at with the question. So again, Riley's regular guy, regular owner, bought the thing, and right away I'm just talking to him, and he's sharp about all this stuff. He was complaining about like the way his Honda handled. He had a Honda, he didn't like it, and we were talking about just spring rates and balance, and he's like, well, I haven't even set my sag on my Stark. And I'm like, whoa. So especially if you're around Gosler at all, that would be kind of a shock, but he probably didn't know that, right?
That I hadn't set my sag. I told him about it. I was like, I don't know what it's at, but I knew it was a low number just by the way, when you sit on it, it doesn't go very far.
Right.
I was like, I knew it had to be like near 100. I didn't expect like 90 or whatever it was, but I still like it at what it's at.
Yeah, so we didn't set it when I rode it because it's not my bike. I just hopped on it, and it was fine. I'm heavier, so it was down a little bit lower because after we got done riding, we did measure it, and I right away complained about a couple little things just in his bar setup and stuff, and
it's like you do. You get on anybody else's bike, you complain.
Well, he complained about it, and then I went and changed it because I was like, I think you're right. That does suck, so I'm gonna go change it.
Well, it didn't suck. It just wasn't for me. But I tell people all the time, I go, well, I don't like this. And they go, why? And I'm like, I don't know, because I ride a bunch of different stuff, and I've ridden a lot of just basic standard production stuff, and so that the normal thing fits. But I'm also, I'm 5'8". I used to be 180 pounds. I was that perfect size. I don't like to talk about myself that
That's
much.
because those bikes were built for you, because you got to test them and you do the pre-release testing. So they build them for somebody like you.
I was the size. And as I got older, I was a little bit on the heavier on the scale side, but I was the size. I don't have like long arms or weird long legs or anything like that. But
back to your complaining. You just complained. The first time you got on my bike a long time ago, 500 KTM, Rody says it runs pretty good. I don't like the seat because it's too smooth. You slide around. He goes, those fat grips, get rid of those. You need. I don't like big fat grips. Now, what do you run on most of your bikes? Your rally bikes and stuff. Big fat.
No,
grips.
those actually, believe it or not, those grips are the narrowest foam grips that I can get.
But they're big fat.
No, they're not big and fat. You check the diameter on them. They're not that fat. Anyways,
big fat grips are something I complain about too.
Fact check.
You have small hands. I have little tiny hands.
I have big hands, but like on that Works Honda, it comes with those Renthal Kevlar grips, and they're about 2 mils thicker than every other grip you buy. And having a grip that's 2 mils thicker all the way around will sure induce some arm pump. For me personally,
I just can't. If the grips are big, I can't operate the levers, and even where his levers were, and so, so anyhow, we got to ride the Stark, and I was asking him a lot of questions about it, and just as an owner, kind of owner experience, and it was we talked a little bit about some of we actually didn't get a chance to talk about it in the video, but the first thing I noticed right away was, oh shit, no brake pedal, no rear brake. Because that thing has so much power and the throttle response is so instant that it wheelies. Like you just turn the throttle. And this is it
just hand brakes?
It's just hand brakes, like a mountain bike.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain bike style.
Opposite style?
No.
Like a mountain bike?
No. Front brake is on the throttle side and the rear brake is on the thing. But so there was a couple times where it started wheeling and I did the air stab at the rear brake. And I'm like, whoa, I got to be careful. And then I like to, when I get on the front brake really hard, I need to have my rear brake dragging or the back end start stepping out. And so I would come into a turn, I get on the front brake, and then I'm like, oh, why is the back end getting squirrely? And then we started talking about regen. You can tune the regen. And right away, just with a couple slides of the finger, he was able to get the regen dialed in to where all of a sudden I didn't have to use the rear brake anymore.
So it's like more compression braking because it's generating electricity.
Correct. It's like compression braking, and this was on the first day, and then the second day I said, hey, what if we did this? And so we tried literally 100% regen braking, and which was like too much in normal riding because when you shut it off, it lunges you forward.
Somebody's going to come up with an optional foot brake because there's just too many guys that are.
You can buy one with a foot brake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I would prefer. And then a lot of our comments, correct me if I'm wrong, Riley, on the video were people saying that you get used to the handbrake in like 10 minutes or a day.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, and you don't miss the foot pedal.
I don't miss it, but like I think. Like all the people that talk about the clutch and like you need a clutch for this and for that if you're going to do like a splat or you're going to hit a wall hard off a little like pebble or something like that. I really don't think you need a clutch because you have instant torque to drop all the power you need to get in that, to get the bike to come off the ground. And I don't think you need a clutch to sit there and wind up the motor and dump all your power at once because you have the immediate torque of 680 foot-pounds at your hand. So you don't really need that clutch drop. And then hold
that thought because this podcast would not be helpful. It would not be possible. It usually is not helpful, but it wouldn't be possible with the help of our sponsors, George. Do you know this? And Yamahas have clutches. Yeah, so you no matter what we talk about the Stark, if you say that's bad because it doesn't have a clutch, you can go down to your Yamaha dealer, and almost every bike on the Yamaha dealer's floor has a clutch in it, except for the kids' bikes. The kids' bikes have the automatic transmissions. Yeah, so
I thought they had like black and white keys. Yamahas,
black and white keys.
They make pianos.
What's a piano?
But we got some Blue Crew in the peanut gallery here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have a peanut gallery at the show. I haven't even had a chance to look up and say hi. Hi, my name's Jimmy Lewis.
You know me as Flying Brian.
Flying Brian. Okay, yeah, we have a peanut gallery over here. Jared, yeah. George's wife.
Justin.
And Justin. So
Justin called in once. I want to get to Justin eventually.
Oh, we
with
will.
Some Yamaha tuning.
We got 2 hours, and hopefully the
tuning
sun
issues.
goes down so I can actually see the screen. Because I'm literally right now. There's such a reflection off it. I don't even know if we're still streaming.
Turn that around so that window's not reflecting
What window?
in the back. Right
But that
here.
see the problem is that's the camera. Oh,
I know.
that's
Turn this.
Your
Look.
stupid house.
Excuse me, folks. I'll adjust this.
I got
Watch
a
it just
question on
drop.
the Stark bike.
Oh yeah, your stupid.
Then we can get the.
Your stupid house.
There's a question in the peanut gallery, Jimmy.
We only take the questions when I'm ready. I'm still doing sponsor reads here.
You're acting like you're in charge or something.
And also today's podcast not be possible without the help of Climb. I went riding the last few days, and you know what was in the air? Water. And people are like, "Are you okay? Are you still riding? Is it because there's water in there?" And they think I might be a witch. But since I'm wearing Climb gear, I have the right gear for the conditions, and I had just different, like whether it was a Gore-Tex jacket or a Gore-Tex overcover pant that I could put on, or I just wore my Gore-Tex gear, or I wore my regular gear with big vents because it was also hot, and I could open up the
I've
vents.
got a lot of Climb gear, and I was wearing it
I
way
was
before all these,
cool,
way before I could
and
get
comfortable.
promotional codes and stuff like that.
If you're
Go-to
and by the
stuff.
way, if you're listening to this podcast and you would like to get a discount code on Climb, email me, but you have to figure out what my email address is. And then you email me, I could probably get you a little code for a little discount. So just to let you know.
Bulletproof Designs,
okay.
don't forget about them. They've been very generous.
Yeah,
to
Bulletproof Designs. I got to send them an invoice. Taco Moto. They usually bring you a segment called Roosterendo, but because of all the technical difficulties, there's no way in the world I could actually get a Roosterendo segment and actually put a picture of a bike on the screen. But I do have videos loaded. So because I'm looking at that pizza and I'm thinking I'm gonna get hungry, I'll play a video.
We'll take a commercial
we'll
break.
take a commercial
Who do
break.
you get your tires from, Jimmy?
I don't know. Pirelli? This right here? Yeah. Pirelli tires. Really good. Yeah, I'm happy.
What the Stark comes with.
Yeah,
Does it?
He was checking out my KTM, the back tire of my KTM, going, I think I want one of those. I had a mid hard, which, hey, how did that it crawled out of that hill pretty good, no spin.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's definitely. I mean, it simplifies that crawling out of places.
we tried to kill his dad's buddy. His dad's buddy was having a nice ride. Guy's a hell of a trail rider. How old was he?
Oh, he's 64.
Yeah. Oh, not that old. Yeah, kind of old. I don't know.
I forgot the red
6
snow wheels
months on
and
me,
dirt bikes.
So we dropped down in this canyon, proper Idaho single track. I mean, switchbacks. Switchbacks that you've got to be really careful. I mean, you're at full steering lock. You usually kind of have to set up going into it on the way down. And we got down to the bottom, and I proceeded to fall over in the river because that's what I always do when I come to rivers. And then we went a little farther, and I got a stick in my spokes, and it took me right over the handlebars into the bushes. And we realized we couldn't find the trail anymore because it needed to be cleared. So we turned around right as the time his dad and his buddy kind of got down there, and all I heard was cramp. Yeah, and then we got to crawl back. I was kind of hoping I didn't mind riding back up it, but I was kind of hoping we collectively, our group, did not have to go back out of that. And when I saw cramp, I thought it was going to be the end of the day.
Oh, cramp. He yelled
Cramp.
cramp. Okay.
Yeah. You thought he said asshole.
No, I didn't know. I thought he was calling somebody.
So, yeah. Anyways, okay, so back to the clutch. Because Riley texted me. He said, hey, did you see that there's a clutch available for the Stark? And I didn't do any research on this, so briefly, it looks like it's not a mechanical clutch. It's something to do with the electronics.
Oh yeah, I already looked up everything on it, and I'm not I don't think that's a solution for the bike at all.
Well, yeah, my first question is I rode that thing. Why do you need a clutch? Where, when, why, how? What would you want one for?
I could see it for maybe the only reason I could see a disconnect with your finger is if there's a lot of times you're riding enduro, you tip over your bike and you crank that thing wide open. There's no disconnect to your tire, and you usually stab the clutch when you tip over. And then on that bike, if you if you stick it wide open when you tip over or something, you're going to launch your bike off the side of the hill. But that clutch, I don't think it's really just an inverse throttle. Like it's retracting throttle percentage away from what you've inputted. And then it has a little speaker and it gives audio input based on throttle input. So it gives you the illusion of revving up something. And then when you let the clutch go, it just dumps whatever throttle input you have.
It makes motorcycle noises.
It literally does. It sits there and makes motorcycle noises.
If anybody puts that on their bike, they're going to get
say
like
what I was going to say.
They're going to it's going to be so they're going to hate for doing that.
But,
well, I
can you Bluetooth that to your phone or your earbuds or whatever?
Probably. You probably put it.
It's probably got a little thing eccentric that vibrates.
Probably live stream it.
I think it does vibrate as well.
Does it really? Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was another thing I didn't talk about when I was riding. There's no vibration on that motorcycle.
Sounds like there is.
Well, no, if you buy this clutch thing, I don't know what it does. I just laughed and I when I was riding the last couple of days, I've been thinking about the clutch. I'm like, when would I have ever wanted a clutch? And I run a Recluse, so already, I have, I'll call them friends, people that tell me what I am because I run a Recluse.
Right.
Which is a better rider. I'm a better rider because I run my Recluse. There's a point where we get to really gnarly stuff where it's not an advantage anymore. But I couldn't think of one time, not 1 second, where I would have wanted a clutch on. I would have rather had a rear brake pedal. But he's doing pivot turns, using the brakes, pivot turns to both directions. Like he's ambidextrous with the pivot turns.
Was that hard to get used to?
No, I have another little e-bike that I'm already, it already has the brakes similar to a Stark. So it was already really easy to hop to. And then once you get used to it on a Stark, I will say, like I hopped on my buddy's 300, I lost some of the thinking because I was going up a hill and starting to get stuck. And I was like rear brake, pulled in the clutch and started rolling backwards. And I was like, oh, but I mean, memory. you regain, what fairly quick.
See, that'd be pretty good because I think having that brake up there like that, especially on a short-legged guy like me, if I'm off one side of the bike at all, I ain't getting to the back brake at all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially never sacrificing a good foot position for maneuverability. Yeah. You don't ever have to take, the ball of your foot off your peg if you're doing something.
Yeah, it's so ingrained in me that that's where it is. And I like I said, I don't really like to have my feet on the ground when I'm riding at all. When you, like I said, that's when you're crossing that threshold of, am I riding a motorcycle or am I doing some crazy ass antics? I mean, for some people, just riding a gnarly trail is crazy ass antics and they're always putting their feet down. So yeah, at that point, maybe it's better, but and that's why it's good that there's both. And so we're sitting here talking about a brake pedal and the absence of a clutch on a motorcycle that is otherwise fundamentally pretty damn good. And we took a motocross setting on the trail and it wasn't horrible, other than my wrists were kind of sore just because and Riley will tell you, I run my floppy front end flex bars and enduro suspension was quite a bit more comfortable. And dead moose. Not a dead moose.
Mm-hmm.
And up here,
Riley going to write an article for dirt
different.
Bike Test on that bike? It sounds like he's got all the skills for it.
Yeah, you can write an article.
I could sit there and type for hours about it, about why it sucks, why it's good, and other things.
Okay, you're hired. You just have to do it to our format. I'll get you the info.
But I want to go back and touch on that. I bet we'll come back to it anyways. But that you were talking about power and like how power is applied and whatnot.
Yeah, go for it.
Or the mapping, I think stock mapping, there is on the phone, like if you set it to 65 horsepower and you start enabling throttle, it goes in between 1 and 14,000 RPM is what the motor spools up to, I think. So at the first like 1,000 and like to 1,500, it goes like 10, 15, and then 65 horse. So you have that little bit of modularity at the bottom of your throttle for not just, immediately doing a backflip, but they've now implemented for $12.99 a month. You can change your horsepower per 1,000 RPM. It is standard, but now it's a pro feature for, I think for every bike now. At least I hope so. The other thing I didn't like about their new bike is they actually run wiring through the handlebars, which I'm not a fan of, but they say you can run it externally if you want to change your bar bend. Yep, on the new bike that they just came out with. Yes. I ended up, I don't know what I was doing. I think either the power button got stuck and left the LED on, and there's a little 12-volt battery inside a VCU, which kind of is like the brain of the bike. It tells it to turn on, tells it to charge, and etc. And that VCU 12-volt battery went dead. Either the LED was stuck on it. It's been common that the switches get stuck if dirt gets in them, just because I don't think they have a strong enough spring behind the switch to release it off of the button. So the LED will stay on. And when the LED stays on, runs that 12-volt battery dead, the switch will no longer work. So you cannot charge your bike, you cannot turn it on, you cannot do anything. There's no way to do anything about it. Tried talking to Stark about it, and they're like, we'd have to go through some steps or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm trying to ride this weekend. So I just powered 12 volts through the water pump harness, and then just hit the switch from like a car, like just hooking a car battery up to the 12 volt to kind of charge up the battery a little bit.
Yeah, he know like he figures, just using car troubleshooting techniques to
and don't do that because it will void your warranty. I talked to Stark about that too.
Yeah. So his warranty is voided now.
We won't tell him.
And they log everything that you do, like when you've got that ride app on.
No,
they're logging that data, correct, Riley?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm curious too is the data, the app, the phone comes with 2 gigabytes of data, and the app can use, if you ride a lot, it uses more than 2 gigabytes of data, and then it turns it off. So how are they going to log what you're doing if the phone can't have that much data to send? It's going to start limiting you on the carrier side. So I don't know how that works out yet, but I just finally reached that limit of 2 gigabytes.
Right. Oh, so they're not logging you anymore, or your
I'm not sure how it's going to work out.
Your app's not going to work, or do you have to buy more storage?
Maybe, like there's no more like you run out of LTE, right? The phone comes with its own little plan, so it can at least log stuff. But if you run that data limit out, then I don't know what you do. They probably send you a bill for the extra or something.
Maybe you have to carry a Starlink on your back and Wi-Fi yourself. And this is the other thing is when they announced all this stuff and it's going to be great and it's the future and all this stuff like that, and it's hard for a company just to start up. And if those guys made sewing machines or they were making hot air balloons or cars, their marketing is really good. But you look at what it costs to do something like that. And this is why I just said, whoa, those are bold claims. You're fighting with some companies that have millions and millions of dollars, and they've spent millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they still say it's not ready. The electric stuff is not ready for prime time. You see KTM dabbling in it, but they're using it in more of a, they have kind of like a little dirt bikey thing, but they're using it more for urban commuter uses. The electric bikes companies now that are successful are urban commuting, where it's easy to plug in, and it's not a super high performance application. This is where, like I said, they jumped in. They said, "I'm like, how's this gonna price out?" Because they have a very utopian view of having these urban motocross tracks with charging centers that you just show up and you can plug in and do your motos, and nobody's going to complain.
Well, that's all cool, but you know how I feel about electric. It's electric for this application, for what people are doing with it. It's cool. It works. But it's not like the answer to everything. We're going to burn fossil fuels a long time, and and that's going to still be around.
We got a lot of questions in here, Riley. I'm going to kind of start feeding these over to you and help me out. But back to the just my overall impression on the bike. But they were smart in that they didn't try to do something weird. They didn't go Cannondale on us or BMW on us and try to reinvent the wheel. They said, hey, chassis should kind of work and feel like this. Engines should be here. They used good components, and they
what are like the shocks and stuff? Are they something everybody knows?
Yeah, which is kind of just universally it's a really good standard. You're not going out in left field to get something different. They're not trying to make their own stuff at that. But you look at the bike, it looks well built. They had, like, even the axle blocks Talk about that, the axle block.
So, like talking to Mike Gosler, and all he ever works on are people's roached out bikes that are absolutely trashed. And the adjuster for your chain, it goes into your swing arm, right? And so many people don't put grease on them. Some people put anti-seize on them. And then you end up with, a bolt stuck in your swing arm that you got to tap, put a helicoil in or a tie insert in, fix. Or buy a new swing arm, which is like $800. Well, on the Stark, they have a adjuster that runs through the axle block with a corkscrew on one side, a little ball with a ball and a detent, and then there's notches cut into this screw that goes through the axle block and then mates with the swing arm. So now all of your adjustment is within the axle block and it has quarter turn increments. So you can go one side and you're like, I did 3 clicks here, I can do 3 clicks on the other side. And then if you had 1Cs, you're only spending $70-$80 on an axle block versus a lot of time.
What is the Stark
fixing your swing arm cost? I think they're about $600 from what I looked at.
That's normal, not too bad.
So pretty on par with most motorcycles.
Let's see. We got some questions here. Gotta scroll back up here a little bit. So thanks everybody. Hey, if you do have questions, now is the time to start throwing them in the chat. Let's see. Kevin Kleinsmith says, how long, hours or miles in the woods? And he said 6 hours.
Miles wise though, we did 27 miles the other day and I used 78%.
Yep. And that was
mainly like 42, 48 horsepower mode, by the way.
Right. And it kind of kills it on the roads, not on the trails.
Sucks.
Yeah, that constant throttle ruins the battery.
It's like gas mileage and anything. A lot of times that high wind resistance.
Yeah, it was. I was blown away because I was on it, and the whole time I rode it, I think it dropped like 5%, and I was on it for probably 45 minutes. I think. Let's see. Do these electric appliances come with EMP protection?
No, supposedly there's a kid on Instagram claiming that he did get electrocuted by his.
Oh, you know what? What's funny?
Is he being faithful or not? I don't know.
What was the guy's name? Like Stark Hucker 175 or something like that?
Stark Sender.
Yes. Okay.
And he said he got electrocuted.
So this, yeah, and here's this is where this world's coming to. You got to slap your age group around, Riley. I'm not kidding. So. He was saying that he got electrocuted and then he wanted Stark to buy his bike back. Or he was, he had all these medical bills. His arm doesn't work. If his arm doesn't work, that's worth a couple mil. Easy. I mean, you shouldn't sue because he hopped on a motorcycle. That's his problem. But, he was like, oh, Stark should buy my bike back. It's like, do you think they're going to admit it?
To be fair to this guy, if he's out there, he should call in now.
Oh, yeah, he should call in.
We can maybe do a little interrogation. See what's going on, the three of us.
Yeah.
And the peanut gallery.
Let's see. It says my mic is the 1/3 to 1/2 of the host mic. Okay.
Victor Andrade says, can you add sounds like hit me, daddy? Hey, Poppy. Mas Duro. Victor.
What, on the show or on the Stark?
You know what? He's in a room with 200 guys, like I said, 5 decks of bunk beds, and they're laughing like hell. They got one cell phone smuggled in there.
Oh.
In Guatemala.
No, Victor's still here.
Or is he in Haiti?
No, he's here. He's totally.
I think they scooped him.
All of his buddy. He looks like all of them, but
he came out of the Home Depot buying, $35,000 worth of lumber, and they saw him.
No, he was walking
come
out,
over here.
He was walking out with a rich white lady, and they just said, "You don't belong there."
They scooped him.
We're politically correct on the show. It says, D-Ron Moyer says, have you taken a survey to look at the demographic that follows the T4 show? That's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. I have not. Average watcher is probably male. No, it's all chicks watching the show. I didn't tell you that, Riley. Your Instagram's going to be blowing up with hot chicks now because of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. One dirt bike, one dual sport ADV bike, and Grumpy.
Probably. You look around here.
No, it's a bunch of hot chicks that watch this show. I know. You should see the messages I get. All the ones on OnlyFans. It's really good. Let's see.
How about a Kickstarter just for the effect on Stark? And it makes a sound.
Hey, that's your ticket out to get like a lot of. You need to make a Kickstarter, and it makes 2-stroke sounds when you kick it for your Stark. Just like
I think you could probably just weld one to the end of the gearbox. Like if you put a little hole in the gearbox, you could probably put one on the input shaft of the motor and have that thing spin around and whack you in the leg.
No, it just has to be a bolt. It has to be 100% bolt on, just with some hose clamps. Just bolt something on that, like it's a card in the spoke sort of deal. They make $1 million. Let's see. Aaron Davis, I love your show, Jimmy. Oh, I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. Thanks for all the great information and tips. What show is he watching?
You had to read that one. Oh, good job, Jimmy. Let's move on. How do you recharge in the field from Kevin Kleinsmith? Not there yet, question mark, or do you need ice motor Jenny? I don't know what
you need a Jenny.
But yeah, I mean.
Well, this is what I said. I think I said it in the video. I mean, our fuel tanks have a range. The battery has a range. And you know how we learn how far our fuel tank is? Yeah, my fuel tank is 3.2 gallons. I know it goes this far. You will know, hey, my Stark Varg has a battery. It will go this far. The only problem is I can't bring you battery out in the field. I can bring you gas very easy. But I guarantee you that someone's going to have a backpack. It's going to be like the defibrillator I'm going to have to ride when you go riding again. I'm going to have to carry a defibrillator because your roid's going to flare up and you're going to have a heart attack and I have to shock you. It'll be the same thing. It's like I have to go riding with my buddy in the Stark. I carry a gas bag a lot of times because I have dumb friends that don't know about fuel range. So anyways, yeah, no, you can't. I mean, you have to have a pretty big generator to charge it very fast too, correct?
Yeah, I think I was looking around like generator shop and I picked one up from like the one I got. It's like 200 pounds, does 240 if I want to charge it. Charge it in 2 hours, right? And the lightest generator that I found is like 94 pounds to do 240, like in that range of a quiet generator that does that. So, I mean, your life's going to suck if you run out of battery and you don't want to push the bike back. You're going to try to haul a 24-pound generator.
How much does that weigh?
For a 94 pound.
Yeah, you were thinking about carrying that out into the sticks.
Yeah, you just carry your Jenny out.
That's what guys would do if they get a lot of them.
Oh, so
reposition the thing out there and you have take a gas bag on your bag.
Man, if you're at an enduro, you want to draw number one so you can get that generator first.
Yeah.
Hey, what about that kid? What about that kid that did Romaniacs? I think he won the silver class.
Yeah,
Eddie Carlson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched some of the video of it, and I mean, he rides that thing really well. You know, and I think they did battery swaps too.
Oh, they did.
They did 2 battery swaps
because they said something about he said something like 15 minutes of extra charging. And Romaniacs, just for those that don't know, is one of the gnarliest hard enduros in the world. And you show up at a pit stop, and most of the time they neutralize at the pit stops for like 15 minutes or something like that. So there is time to do.
They were definitely doing battery swaps. I think they did 2 total, from what I read somewhere.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, I was a little scared when I saw them when Taddy signed with them, and I saw them jump into the enduro cross because Taddy is an interesting character, and so I don't know if that was the ideal person to grab, but it's super talented. He did pretty good with it, but then again, they had a parting of ways, and you'll never know exactly what happened. But the bike had some good showings, and they've got another guy that's also riding is it the same guy that's riding the enduro cross? No, it had to be different.
Different.
Because you
not
couldn't.
Sure who it was.
Yeah, you couldn't ride silver at Romaniacs, and silver is still a gnarly. That's like you got to be a really good rider to even finish the silver stuff. It's getting cold.
Just
Put your
looked it
hat
up.
back on so you look like a communist.
Hey.
Hey.
They did 4 to 5 rapid battery swaps per day.
I'm gonna get this guy he's gonna engineer my podcast. He's got info. He's dropping
you should just
info.
AI this stuff to write it, and you'll have it.
Well,
No, I'm just looking up what people are reporting on the race.
Okay, yeah. So let's see. Wreck the tires like rip the knobs off. San Felipe Bob wants to know. I don't know what that means.
Does it wreck tires?
Does it wreck tires? Oh, in 80, it would wreck tires.
Yeah, it's starting to get there. Some knobbies are torn off.
When you ride that thing at anything above that, what we were riding it mostly, you said 43 or 48?
42 to 48 was about the max we rode at.
Yeah, and so so the first time I clicked it in 5, I was just kind of going down this road trying the different modes, and he had, what was your 5 set at? What power?
80.
Oh, it was at 80. Okay, so he's behind me. I have it on the video clip. And I clicked it up to 5, and I was kind of hoping for a straightaway to come up, because I was kind of zzz, zzz, and then I'd back off, click it up, zzz, zzz, and I kind of clicked it up. I got to 5, and right then we came around a little turn with a little water hole in it, and a thing where you'd give it a little snap. Tell him what happened.
Spun it right out from under you.
Roosted the piss out of me.
Roosted the piss out. Almost ate shit. Because, I mean, that thing, I was leaning over a little bit. It just stepped out. I mean, it just went zzz, and it doesn't look as bad as it felt in the video. I'll tell you that right now.
It didn't fit right.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're not a very good commie.
You're like,
I didn't know Canadians were communists. That's new to me.
No, you know what we just learned?
What?
They're all the draft dodgers. That's all that's up here.
Oh.
I think
Okay.
it depends if they're French.
I have a question on your Stark. Does it have a way to shut the bike off when you crash?
Does that- no. Oh, you can hear him okay.
Yeah.
His audio's coming through. Okay.
So-
it does.
Don't have a G on it, huh?
Does it
Nope.
have anything like
Zero.
that?
Over switch.
It has nothing other than if it sits there for, I think you can set the time in which you haven't touched the throttle that it'll default into neutral. But I think I set mine to 15 seconds. But if you tip over, you do a backflip, you do anything, if that, it is on. It's on and until it has sat for 15 seconds.
Okay.
And then you can set that to like 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, how many seconds you want. But
So it's an adjustable setting.
yeah, like when my buddy rode it, he tipped over, picked the bike up, grabbed a handful of throttle when he was picking the bike up, and then the bike went shooting off into the trees.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing happens. I've seen guys walk up to, a bike with a recluse on it and gas it, or pick up a bike with a recluse and it goes. It's just,
Well, they start backwards.
no, but it has
Well, it has
reverse.
Does it?
Didn't you
Does
watch
it really?
Didn't you watch my video?
No, I quit watching that stuff.
Jesus, George. You're not advertising very well. We just lost 90% of our female viewership right now because you said that. You don't watch my videos.
Kevin Kleinsmith says I'd put a playing card in the spokes to make noise.
And Victor says you can probably recharge the battery with your flashlight with a 2A adapter.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I suspect I mean, you know what? That's what we need more than a clutch, is a kind of a quick battery, a booster or something. And they have they have those for like the Surons and stuff like that, correct?
I haven't seen any for them or looked into it at all, but like
They're all coal powered.
I can't imagine, like, for the people that, I mean, you can charge, I don't know how many kilowatt hours a Tesla battery is, but you can charge that thing like 15 minutes, and it's ginormous. But I mean, what do you need to pull that much power, store it, and then maybe bring it to a track and use that on a Stark? Like, how can you efficiently dump that much power into a Stark Varg at a track? I figure, like a gas, a 5 gallon, if you can fit something that can hold, what are they? My battery's 6.5 kilowatt hours. So whatever you can contain that in and then bring to a track and just dump it into the bike immediately. I think then these bikes would be a viable option.
Yeah, and Chris Smith is telling us that he said that team in Romaniacs was able to switch it out in about 5 minutes. So
yeah, tearing the bike apart, it doesn't look too bad to do. It's like four swing arm or skid plate bolts, maybe a couple bolts in the frame and 2 plugins or 1 plugin.
So it drops out of the bottom.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Well, hey, everybody, if you're enjoying the show, you want to thank Yamaha, Climb, Bulletproof Designs, Taco Moto, Trail Tech. The bike doesn't overheat, does it?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No, I've heard of some people having them like early Gen 1s. Some guys ruin some motors or inverters, but I mean, at least, when that happens, Stark's like, oh, oops, we'll send you a new one. So here you go. I guess that's the only benefit to that. I mean, what other manufacturer are you going to go buy a bike and absolutely, ruin something, and then they'll be like, oh, we'll send you a new one, don't worry about it. Some manufacturers would.
Yeah,
I mean, if you made
KTM
it just
used to
out the
do
door
that.
like KTM, and you're like, if I've seen some KTM's, grenade or whatever.
Yeah, but they also do that, and then the one you hear about is the one they didn't refund, and then you find out what the guy really did to it. So you've taken this out to the moto track?
Yep.
You got any sick whips?
I did do some. I did. Oh yeah, the rear tire came, or not the tire, but the rim. I don't know who had the old spoke wrench on that thing, but that thing is not balanced very well because you throw a whip and you turn on the throttle and that thing's vibrating like you got a clod of dirt in the tire.
Oh, you feel it?
It shakes real bad. But I mean, you're getting immediate. You're going to 85, 90 miles an hour with the rear tire because there's no gears, so you're always in fifth gear whenever you crank the throttle.
And you see those freestyle guys that are doing crazy stuff with them too. I mean, and that was the other thing. Starks has not been afraid to kind of throw it out into places where they could get it. They have a class at Arena Cross. Somebody said where were you telling me about a place where they raced them recently?
They've been doing the AMA Arena Cross stuff. I know they've had classes there. Anywhere near me, they really haven't. But I've seen some. I'm going to race it in the Grand Prix coming up and see how that does. Yeah. But as far as racing stuff, I haven't really seen anything.
I thought there was someplace
on the AMA level.
Track.
No, you'd eat shit. Like it's just,
like a mile.
Oh, a mile flat track.
Yeah.
It's an advantage on a dead engine start.
Well, that's the other thing people were saying is they wanted the clutch for like a motocross start, and I'm like, why would you? You
really don't need it.
No.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing.
Apply the throttle as needed.
It's like a Clake. Remember that thing?
I got one in a box.
Yeah, Clake. It was a clutch and a brake all in one lever.
If anybody wants to buy it, it'll be $600 American.
$600 American.
Yeah, plus shipping.
I see Dennis's question there.
Okay.
Do you have any insight why Taddy Blazuzziak abruptly bailed out on Stark?
I do not.
Well, according to Colton Haker, according to Colton Haker, when I talked to him, because I was like, hey, what do you think that was Taddy or that was the bike that actually had a throttle input error and it spiked and went to 100 and that's why he looped his bike out into someone else at that arena, or it wasn't Arena Cross, it was an Enduro Cross or something, because he looped his bike into someone else.
Yeah.
And Colton swears that Taddy's just a goofball and that was definitely his doing. And in the video, I'm pretty sure you can see him, turn the throttle a little bit. It's hard to tell, but it sure looks like he moved his wrist, and I think it was him. And then he probably was like, nah, it was a Stark. And then Stark was probably like, we don't really like that, so get out of here. Or he left on his own terms.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, if you're running at a high horsepower, and if I were running Enduro Cross, I would probably run pretty high horsepower for that burst. To get the loft and to get the, it's so responsive. You can get a loft, and then if you wheel tap something, if you time that right, it would blow away what you could do on a gas bike. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're just somebody didn't like something and they changed their stride. Victor says, is it possible to recharge the battery with a fleshlight and a 2-way adapter?
Maybe a shake weight. One of those plugged in.
Yeah, that's part of Victor's fleshlight is the shake weight.
And you said he was in a room with how many men on how many things? Jeez.
He's running the place, so I mean.
Okay. Well, hey everybody. If you have any more questions, go ahead and toss those up here. I'm going to take a quick little Stark break right now is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if you're wondering what we're talking about, I'm going to throw up this video because we had a little panic before the start of the show. Did you notice that? I was a little stressed out.
You did.
Oh, yeah. Because you decided you want to do this.
I'm calm under pressure. We got power out to the table. You'll have it when you need it.
But it wasn't good. It wasn't
good.
The internets were bad. I got belts out of my truck here. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's as usual. So, anyways, Riley, we're gonna go ahead and play this video here for a second, the Stark video I made, and we'll come back right after. You have questions for Riley, or if this video prompts some questions, go ahead and throw them up in the chat. The more questions we get in the chat, the better. And if you want a Climb discount code, let me know. And Kevin Kleinschmidt wants to know, where are you guys at? I don't know where I'm at, but I know that I can see Canada, right? If I look that way, I'm seeing Canada. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't like to announce that because the I heard they're lining up at the border to come and get me.
Oh, well, it's getting dark, so you got to worry because they come out. Their eyes are really white. They're bright. They're sort of white.
Yeah,
blue-eyed white.
Come out from under. Because I mean, we could have been underground. It would have been better if we were transmitting from underground with the problem we had. But okay, so I'm gonna figure out how to make this.
We could be in front of a green screen.
I have a no. This is not. I need you watch the video. Okay, everybody. So.
Ride an electric bike through the flowers. How nice. It's completely ridiculous. I don't even want to ride it. You couldn't hear me coming. No, not at all. So I'm Jimmy Lewis. This is a dirt bike test, and I'm riding a bike that doesn't make any noise. Stark Varg. So, sorry Stark, this is a motocross one and I'm riding it out on the trails, but it's my buddy Riley's bike. He said, why don't you get weird and try my Stark? And that's what I'm doing. We've altered it a little bit from standard, or Riley has, and we've been playing around with some different stuff, but I'll get into that a little bit more later. Okay, so the biggest thing that I have to deal with is this is one of the ones that has the brake over here. So I do not have a brake pedal, and I use my brake to do a lot of bike controlled stuff. And especially when I get out of control, I use that rear brake. And so, in all honesty, the biggest difference that I'm noticing right now is I don't have a rear brake like I'm used to. And I know they sell them with real rear brakes or motorcycle real brakes, but I guess we'll call this mountain bike style. Other than that, it works just like a regular dirt bike. You turn the throttle and it goes. You just don't ever do any shifting. There's some things that are a little bit interesting in that when you just that you're not shifting, so you kind of, to get the speed back, sometimes you have to turn the throttle a little farther than you're used to. And I'm not kidding, I like the quiet. I've ridden a lot of pedal electric assist mountain bikes, and I like that feeling, and I think this is just going to take it to the next level. I do not mind not having the sound. It's a little bit, you hear the hiss, you're hearing that, I'm sure. You can hear my KTM 300 behind me. Riley's riding that. I can hear that more than I can hear my own bike. I will tell you that for sure, the suspension is not set up for trail riding, but it's set up as a motocross bike. So, and I rarely ever ride moto bikes on the trail. But in general, it's not that bad. I'm not feeling anything awkward with the handling. It's just harsh. It bounces, deflects a little bit, but that's to be expected and no different than any other motocross bike that they have a trail version when the suspension is set up properly. It doesn't feel like anything in the chassis is awkward, but I will tell you that although the bike scales out being kind of heavy, when you're riding it, it doesn't necessarily feel that way. And when you're when you're maneuvering it around, but when you would get what would be like high RPMs, where the motor would be revving a lot, this bike doesn't pick up any weight from that reciprocal stuff. A little bit, mostly probably from the wheels. But it kind of maintains that same weight. it really doesn't feel any heavier than, you know, your typical 4-stroke. For sure, 2-strokes feel lighter because they just don't have the, we'll call it the mass. And some of that's also reciprocal with the engines as well. But in all honesty, especially to you haters, it's really not that much different. And if I want to ride it in a different mode, a more power mode, I just push this button here, up like that. That's mode 2. This is mode 5. That'd be stupid. It's completely ridiculous. I don't even want to ride it in that. And I don't know what he has mode 5 set at, how many horsepower, but it's plenty. And on mode 3, we're playing around with a super high regen. Mostly to see what it does on downhills. And I already can tell it's going to be too much. But just like computers, you know, you can tune them and program them a little bit. Okay, so we just put it in reverse mode, so it won't roll down the hill because it doesn't really have a parking brake, but watch this. I don't want to go down that trail anymore. So I'm playing around with the regen just to see like how it works, because you know, right now we have it set at like 70% on map 4, and then map 3 it's full. I just switched down. And you can feel a difference in how much drag there is on the rear wheel. And it's almost like I'm not using any brakes going down this. And it's fairly steep. You know, it's steep enough to where I have to cut switchbacks in the hill. And that maximum regen really allows a nice controlled descent on stuff. And as easy as it is to switch the modes, I would definitely have a mode that had like less regen for normal riding and then a ton of regen for when you're coming down something like this, and that way you don't have to really use the brakes. And technically we should be charging the battery back up.
So in the end, I am not impressed by the Stark Varg, and not because it isn't a really good motorcycle. It's because it just met the expectations that they said they were going to deliver on. This one was, like I said, the motocross bike. We were riding it on trails. They have an enduro version. I'd love to get my hands on one of those and try it. It's a good motorcycle and it's different. And you're going to have to realize electric is coming. The technology is getting better and better, and it has capabilities that gas doesn't, and it has disadvantages that gas provides. Like, how are you going to pour a little bit of electricity into your bike if it does run out of fuel? Don't worry about it. These are all things that will get sorted out. But I appreciate the technology that's inside of this vehicle. I'm interested to play with it and learn about it more. And I think as this evolves, it's going to get better and better, just like gas has, just like 2-strokes have, just like 4-strokes have. It's just a different way of having fun on 2 wheels, and I'm not complaining. I like this bike. Riley will hopefully keep us updated on, you know, the user experience. He's had a couple little issues with it, nothing too bad, but this is what you do. You test dirt bikes, you learn about them, and hopefully we all get better motorcycles because of it. So thanks, Riley, and with this, we will see you out on the trail. Cheers.
I'm alive though.
Enough of that. That was our Stark Varg video. If it prompted any questions, go ahead and throw that stuff up in the chat. Again, this is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, episode number 200,057,000. With 13 million people watching the show right now. Did you know that, George?
Are there?
Yeah. It's it's because I'm not wearing my tinfoil hat. That's why I know this information. Riley, we are going to, and also I should reintroduce Riley. So Riley is the owner of the Stark Varg that I rode. You're going to have to pronounce your last name for us because I don't think I can.
Poxleitner.
Poxleitner. Okay. And like on the end of the video, follow Riley on Instagram. That's RY_POX. Is that the place?
That is the one. The one and only where you can see crashes.
What about sick whips?
There's
a couple of those.
I don't really post those.
Oh, you
There's a
don't
couple
post
of them, but
the crashes get
Nah.
more views.
yeah, just like that last one in the video. It's at what is it here?
Not
It's
very
at
many.
205,000.
What do you do to fund
Wait.
your motorcycling?
He
Work
works
on
hard.
cars.
What?
He
Oh,
works-
I actually go bug Mike. I go bug Mike Gossler all day.
Mechanic?
No, he's a mechanic. He works
okay.
hard. His dad has a really nice shop in
Yeah.
Grangeville. So if your car breaks down, actually, when Emily was driving across, in her van battery blew up.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to go there, but something happened because I think they got towed. I don't remember. Did they get towed? Who knows? Small information. But anyways,
Batteries.
yeah, they ended up at Napa.
Coolest. Go back over to comments.
Okay, so we got some comments. here.
Dennis he's from further north. Dennis
is?
from Alaska. That's Dennis.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Coolest bike ride video ever. Love the twist and go about the Stark. Test rode the KTM e-dirt bike you had at the shop a couple of years ago. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And everybody thinks I'm an electric hater. Riley, am I electric bike hater?
No.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Everyone
No,
likes
you're
it.
pretty
Everyone likes it,
open-minded about it.
unless everyone likes it when you ride one. Nobody likes it from the outside though. They don't want to admit they
it's
like
like
it.
it's like a closet. It's like a closet
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to
You
be a
come
little,
out, you're like, I actually like it.
The good thing is you can, like, if you have one, you can ride away. Nobody can hear you, and you can go ride. And it's all quiet. So I'm
But
gonna.
then you can't rev limiter at people either.
Well, that's why you need so get rid of the clutch and just have a app that makes loud exhaust noises. I've got to find where
One of them little like bike horn.
our YouTube comment. Okay, so I make that go up there. I think I can bring our
Here it
comments
goes.
in
We're
here.
gonna get cut off here shortly. It's gonna go dead.
I'm pushing buttons.
So
This is
Get
why
ready
this
to get up and go to the bathroom or mix another drink because Jimmy's clicking
Okay.
stuff.
Let me see. I'm going to bring into. So don't worry, George. I'll get this figured out. I'll have to
Here,
kind of
how
switch.
did you do that?
Don't touch the screen. If you touch. The fact that you brought wires out here was kind of amazing. It
And I
should have
don't
been.
even drink anymore. You better be damn glad I'm not sitting here drinking. Remember those days?
Carrie, should I be glad?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Thanks, George. That was something. There's at least one thing you quit was good.
But look, this is just the cursor.
No, don't.
What's the
jeez.
deal?
Do not do that. he almost
There
lost.
was, I was gonna
He
drag
almost
something
lost
into
it.
the
Okay,
show.
so here's where we get in. Remember, this is supposed to be a podcast, so
Yeah.
the people that had to listen to that audio crap that we just did makes no sense to them at all because they don't get to see
Yeah, I
me
don't
trying to
care.
slap you.
I've been listening to podcasts,
Actually,
and
I
I
would-
put it on the with you 1.5,
Oh,
and
so
you
you
sound
speed it
like a
up?
human. You know,
You
it's
mean
kinda
1.5 slower?
good. No, faster.
People say I talk too fast.
No, you just
Well, that way you
just
get through the-
interrupt too much.
That way you get through the crap quicker. Okay, so Riley, this is a question for you. What kind of mic do you use with your filming? It does a good job.
Oh, the camera, the Insta360, just
Right.
its own built-in mic.
Okay, so you need to clip that and send that to them, right?
I know. Right?
Yeah, it like
I sell cameras.
yeah, because he actually
You
he actually,
might
so
post it up in the chat a link so people can get it.
yeah. Post a link up in there. Do you have an influencer code or something like that?
I do, but I don't really push it. I don't really care for the 30 bucks I get.
I'm telling you right now, you need to post it up in the chat. And some of these guys are big fans of the show. They like supporting us. They will buy one, and I may buy one because I was pretty stoked with the quality of that camera too.
Or better yet, what he really wants is they'll send him one to test because it got posted
Test?
up and it got 12 views on this page. So
12 million. Those, you know how when you're looking at financials of really big companies,
No.
you know that it says like 136, and that's million. That's the way I look at all these numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just want you to know how I operate here.
Patrick at Patrick Beatty 3444.
Okay. On the thing, so that doesn't work. Let's see, studio only. How's
fine.
this? There we go.
Look at that lighting in the studio. Look at that lighting.
If we had a sponsor, we could talk about how that worked out. So, what's up with, so he was commenting on our Tech Talk Taco Tuesday live. Actually, one I did from the shop, and he has to curl barley pops alone. Well, you and me both, buddy. Cheers, because I do it alone too. Okay.
Oh, this is going to be an all about Jimmy one. That next one, that P.
Why wouldn't it be?
Watch.
Okay. Yeah, we just messed up the whole show. There's an issue with this. At least I cut your head off on the
Okay,
thing.
maybe I can read it here.
No, we pushed a button. You're not going to be able to read it there. How did you get
B.
that?
Walden, I'm looking at the show.
Okay.
Now you took it away.
Oh yeah, because you're on a delay. You think you have this
My
figured
whole
out?
life's been on a delay.
When I started reading your articles as a kid in the early 2000s, I never thought I'd be watching you review an electric bike on YouTube 20 years later. I like my gas bike, but there's no doubt that I want one of these. More range would be cool, but if I'm honest, it's enough for 90% of my rides. I have a very small backyard that I only ride a couple of minutes a week because
Can't figure out how to expand it.
it's the
P.
light's
Walden,
so bad
call in.
because of my neighbors. But if I had one of those, who knows how little work I would get done. He's talking about, I didn't think I'd be riding an electric bike on YouTube either. What does this one say, George?
It's from at Brian Martindale.
Brian Martindale.
2221. Thought it was Brianna or something. Dear Mr. Stark, please forward Mr. Lewis a Varg EX. Sincerely a fan. P.S. Don't include a fork discard. So he's a
front discard.
Yeah, front discard. So he's a regular fan. He knows.
Anyways, that's how you treat social media. And if you put good stuff in it and flush it away, I guess that's okay too. But I'd like to only put bad. No.
At Moto Sports, should we know this person?
I don't know.
Nice. Once these new dry cell batteries come out that make the bike 30 pounds lighter and go 100 miles on a charge in 10 minutes, it's all over for gas bikes. So many advantages to electric. I'm not buying it. Sorry.
Okay, Riley, what do you think on that one?
But
I still no. I don't think anyone. I mean, I don't think it'd be over for gas bikes. Because gas bikes just have their own realm of fun. They're their own thing, you know. Like,
yep.
Do we lose?
the electric bike has quietness and it doesn't vibrate and less maintenance, but that's its own set of fun. But nothing gets away from a good sounding, KX300 or a KX250 or a
Wait, what do you know about
YZ250.
What do you know about a KX300?
I've just been dreaming about it until they come out with one.
Yeah, that's there's rumors. There's rumors about that. So if you have a comment, you can throw it in the chat right now. We get to it instantly. But if you are listening to this like later, you're watching on the YouTubes later when I finally get around to editing it, or you listen to it on the podcast and you just go to one of our things and send us an email. We answer most of the questions. Let's see. Michael Shea says, that's your cue, George.
I was reading the next one.
Oh.
Would love to see Stark get you a Varg EX press bike or something. I think it'd be interesting to hear your perspective on the actual enduro model, especially if you had more time to get
take
used
a breath.
to the. Has no cons. Why do you keep clicking that so I can't read it?
Because I'm trying to produce this show.
But as more of a dual sport adventure guy, I could absolutely see a world where I have a bike like a KTM 890, a Tenere, and then a Varg EX. This is your second bike. Yeah. I agree with that.
Well,
but trails now, you can't even take a pedal assist mountain electric bike.
they're the people that don't want you on trails, and here's where I go off on the land use rants. The people that don't want you on a dirt bike or whatever. They don't want anybody on the trails. I was telling somebody this story about, I went to some wilderness meetings back in the early 2000s, I suspect it was. They wanted to designate an area where we had trails and riding as wilderness. And I went there because we needed to figure out what they were doing, so we would be able to kind of counter it, because these people, their hobby is to protect land. They're adamant about this. And us, we like to go use the land. We like to go riding. That's our hobby. So they go have coffee with the people at the Forest Service and all that stuff. So we went to one of their meetings. And I was listening to all their stuff, how they were going to orchestrate getting this land designated as they were going to first get a wilderness study area and then go to wilderness. And wilderness, by the way, for anybody that's curious, wilderness with a capital W means absolutely no mechanized or motorized use. So motorized is easy to understand, but mechanized, that means wheels. You cannot take a wheelchair into wilderness. And so they were going on and on about like wilderness and what it meant and how they could convince, because there was mining roads in here and there was motorcycle trails in here, and they've been there for existing long times. So I'm listening to all this bullshit because I know that they're gonna get most of what they want. Here's how they come to the bargaining table. It's kind of like Trump does. It's like, you know what? You get nothing. I get everything, and now we can start talking. And they're allowed to do that because it's the higher ground. Oh, we're protecting the land. So I was listening to all this crap, and I said, okay, I'm gonna stand up and talk too. But I wasn't talking as a motorcycle guy. I had my nice, I had a picture of a nice tree in my shirt.
Well, you're going to say you had a picture of you in a nice shirt, because I've never seen you in a nice shirt.
I was like a hippie, okay? So I rolled in, and I said, you know what? I think this is really good, but I'm really concerned with your definition of wilderness. I said, I'm afraid that the camera that the person takes in has way more technology and mechanized things than we should ever allow in wilderness. And the tread of your shoe, it looks just like a tire track to me, and it bothers me. So I think if you want wilderness, I want wilderness, you should go in there the way that you were created, the way that you came out, just like that. No technology at all goes into wilderness, because you don't see a bear wearing shoes or pants inside of there. So you need to take your clothes off at the line of the wilderness and hike into the mountains. That's how. And you know what? If you're all for that, I'm for wilderness. Let's go.
You would say that. I'll vouch for that. He would say that.
And about a quarter of the people applauded.
Yeah.
And the other half looked at me like they wanted to get me out of the room, because that wasn't the wilderness they want, because they can't convince everybody to go for that crap. But I mean, I have no problem with, there's lands that need to be protected, but everybody, people think, oh, we can take our electric bikes everywhere. And it kind of started with the electric mountain bikes. And now people start thinking that with the motor. And look at the kids ripping around in the cities on their whatever
dirt bikes.
Well, they're electric dirt bikes. Well, they call them dirt bikes, and they get hit by a car, and then they say dirt biker hit by a car. Like, no, he's on the street. He's not a dirt biker. Anyways, there's my rant for tonight. That's what I say.
Bet you it's not the last one.
What, me? I don't have any opinions.
It was Michael Shea.
So, anyways, the electric's not going to solve any problems. It's just it's fine.
No, I just don't like the whole how it's been shoved. I don't like this that it's the answer, but
try not
the technology.
Try not to use this to divide people in half again. And that's the thing. That bike, the electric bike, is really good. It has a use. It's an option, and it's going to get way better because we're just getting started with it. So, Riley, any comment on that? He hung up.
No, I think
he disappeared.
I feel like it's unfortunate. Yeah, there it goes. I think it's unfortunate. Like, I know it's a big issue in like LA area and bigger cities like that. Kids running around on electric bikes on those like Sarons, Telerias, E-Ride Pros and stuff like that. And it sucks that.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that the kids are out there doing stuff on two wheels, something that has a little bit of power. And the other thing, and this is another one that I'm passionate about, I like that the fact that some of that stuff is real crap, because guess what? When you break it, if you want it working again, most likely if your dad bought you that thing, you can't even work on it, so it gets thrown in the corner. But if you really are motivated, you're going to learn how to fix that stuff. That's where I came from.
Better than sitting on your phone, I guess.
Yeah, staring at a screen.
Just today, you know how we were talking about the tubes in the Stark are an absolute pile of garbage?
Uh-huh.
I somewhat convinced a kid to buy one, and he messages me. He's like, "Can you help me put my tubes in?" I'm like, "Brother, get a screwdriver and just start working at it. You'll figure it out. And then if you really need help, I'll come tell you how to do it, but I'm not going to help you do it."
Wait, screwdriver instead of tire irons?
Well, he doesn't have tire irons. I know that much. He's
Didn't
never
we
taken
all
a tire
start
off
with
in his life.
screwdrivers?
Yeah, I did it with screwdrivers.
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty-
I was like, don't get too deep with it and pinch your tube, but you need to figure it out. And I was like, he's like, I'm going to take it to Mike. I was like, Mike is already plenty busy. Do not take it there. Just try to take it apart. If you really need help, I'll come tell you how to do it, but I'm not going to help you do it because you need to learn how.
Can you stand over someone that's changing a tire and not like push them out of the way and do it?
Oh, I mean, I get antsy about it, but no, I mean, I'll make him do it.
How do you?
That was our big joke around Jimmy's shop.
How do you control yourself? Because I pretty much like when you screw up, like when you make 3 bad moves, it's kind of like you fumbled the football.
So in Jimmy's shop, this is pretty funny. We're, we need tires changed. You always need tires changed with rental bikes and stuff. So we'd go in there, take the tire off, put it down on the ground, and then just start dropping the spoons on the floor so you could hear them, like they're flying around, stuff like that. And then you hear Jimmy coming, then you put one in there and kind of pry a little piece out, let it slip, jack some stuff around. Jimmy'd push you out of the way and switch a tire.
I mean, it's just the same thing. Like if I ever go do it at Mike's or whatever, if I go to Mike Gosser's shop, he's the same way. I mean, I start doing stuff. He's like, you need soapy water. You got to have this. And if you don't do that, and he's like, no, why are you doing it on the sprocket side? You're going to hit your knuckles.
We all have our techniques.
And I think I've mentioned, it's pretty interesting how adults, because a lot of times when I see a question, I click on their profile and kind of get an idea, at least a picture of who's posting this question.
So you're stalking.
No, I just want to, but it amazes me what kind of rudimentary skills I thought most people had at 14 years old that they're adults asking on some performance vehicle, how to get through this problem or what to do with it. It's just bizarre.
You can come around the back.
It just kills me. But that was, in my day, industrial arts was dying off and didn't have any of it.
I mean, running a shop and having to help 4 different guys all the time about all kinds of different things because they'll come and ask me a question about why a brake light doesn't work. And it's like, did you go over the simple steps that you could have thought of on your own before asking me? And it's odds are probably not.
How old are you?
26.
Yeah. See, there's hope.
There is hope.
I meet guys like this every now and then. I go, there's hope.
Yeah.
Good people out there.
Well, I mean, and half the time you can Google it. And this is something that had to be,
do that. We do that.
This is something that had to be taught to me because, I had to go look in a book, to figure out, or go find the guy that knows how to do it and kind of ask the question. But I don't know, maybe there is something lost in this where now, since you can Google it, maybe you shouldn't ask her, but is it just quicker to go ask the guy who knows, or should I at least make some initiative to try to know something about it? There's a lot of levels to this.
How far are we off the rails right now?
About what? Motorcycles?
Motorcycles and dirt bikes.
This all has to do with motorcycles. Motorcycles are all
I
about
think it
life.
all applies.
Yeah.
Especially, me and Jimmy were talking about so many people own bikes, but they don't mess with them. But you could have a comfier ride if you just went out and let me try my clickers all the way hard, all the way soft, and then maybe find a middle ground that I like. And a lot of people don't even touch the clicker. They don't touch anything on their entire bike. You don't realize how much better your bike would feel.
Yeah, I never touched them at all until I started hanging out with Jimmy and talking to him a little bit. And it's pretty amazing what you can really do.
Yeah, and if you're into this, and this is where this show kind of helps out. If you're into this kind of stuff, you can ask a question. We can kind of give you an answer, and it kind of give you. And there's some really simple stuff, and sometimes it just starts with the basics. And some people just jump right in, and they're just like, I want to. Oh, here's like the clutch, like when the clutch for the Stark. When I look at that like every guy that wants to buy the ECU for their KTM 500 because they want more power. It's like they want more power. Like how much power? Because the KTM 500 makes 38. It's not much. But when was the last time you needed 38 horsepower? Or when was the last time you, on your new KTM 500 and you want more power, when was the last time you actually got the throttle to the end of the cable? So, you know, it just rolls back to.
We'll ride off of idle and it sputters and it dies and I need a tune.
Oh, well, that's usually because you let it sit in your garage for 5 years and now it doesn't work. Okay, so we're gonna keep going into the comments, but we're gonna look at the chat here real quick. Well,
don't log off.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Hold on, just give me a minute.
I wish one day you ought to just have a show that shows this side of the screen, because that is really truly where the shit show.
This should be Tech Talk Taco Tuesday and in parentheses shit show.
Yeah. I don't know why your today in the shop never took off, but
well, it's because nobody knows what it is.
Yeah,
it'll take off. Like I actually have to work on it though. That's the thing. So we got Victor wants to know, what is George drinking? Gray Earl tea? What's that?
No, liquid IV.
Liquid IV.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Sugar-free peach.
Sugar-free peach, my wife says.
Kevin Kleinschmidt says, he's talking about the Stark.
Oh, you want me to read this?
Or his sex life. He says, I need range and quick turnaround in the mountains and the woods. Longer range for me.
Okay.
Is that Stark or sex life? I don't know.
Have another tequila.
What do they come
Victor,
to the show
how come
for?
they don't protect the land from mining corporations and the solar farms? Now
He spelled it wrong, but he's pissed.
He's upset.
Well,
Yeah, no kidding.
you don't get a Stark Varg without a mine.
Let's talk about
Let's skip.
solar farms, the Black Plague, as they call it.
And
around.
Victor also wants to know, did you wear the Tiva sandals when you went to the meeting?
Is you talking about Nine
The
Toes?
Yeah.
Nine Toes here.
When I went to that meeting, you would probably be confused about I fit right in. I didn't wear a tie-dye t-shirt. I thought one of you guys had a tie-dye t-shirt on.
You
but now
had,
I'm thinking that's it. So you're wearing a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday t-shirt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you purchase that
From you.
from me?
Yeah.
Did you
He's a
ever
sponsor.
Did you ever spend? You didn't,
I want it.
Did you buy it
I want
for
to
him?
reach. No.
Okay,
He
because
bought-
you would do that.
He bought one of the first ones too.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you take a picture of you in a really cool location and send it to me?
I don't have no cool locations yet around
No
my house.
cool locations.
Unless I was on a pontoon.
So all of you people, we watched that movie last night. All of you people that bought the t-shirts, you're supposed to wear your t-shirt in a cool location and send it back to me, and then I'll put it up on the show.
Okay, I was at Fossil Bowl. I should have done it there.
Okay.
Ever been to Fossil Bowl?
I was at Fossil Bowl too.
News it possible.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Killer place, man. And I should have done
Yeah.
it, but I don't know. I'm not electronic savvy, so I wouldn't know how to put it on.
Were you up there this weekend?
No, they just did some track changes this weekend though, so I was gonna think about go checking it out.
This weekend or a week ago?
Yeah.
Oh, this must be a locals motocross track.
No, it's in Idaho.
Oh, yeah, it's old. It used to be on the circuit before
It's been
Washougal
since
was.
1972. It's been there.
Wow. Yeah, I've not heard of this one.
Killer place, man.
There's a lot of history behind it.
Cool. Well, anyway, so you just find some kid to take a picture of you and your shirt, and then you have them send it to me.
From
Just
your van.
from. Yeah, let them outside of the van. I know they've been in there for a long
Well, I
time.
ran out of candy.
Okay, now the real problem, real thing. Okay,
Victor's.
let's see. Dennis Faldorf again says,
The e-dirt bike reminds me how snowmobiles operate. Twist and go via the CV transmission. CV trannies,
"Can we say trannies?"
are too much for the dirt bike,
Depends on the content.
but the e-dirt bikes nail that feeling. Instant acceleration. So the question, does a Stark flow well at a steady 50 for 30 miles with minimal throttle twisting?
Well, that's a really good question.
Let your
Absolutely
guest
not.
answer.
It's not making it.
It will.
I think if you're doing 50 miles an hour for 30 miles, if you're doing 50 miles an hour, I doubt you're making it
Oh
past.
boy, I hope I didn't make that go away.
It's up.
Yeah, you
I
fixed
doubt
it.
you're making it past, maybe 15 miles max.
At 50 miles an
12.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 12 miles.
Okay,
maybe.
so I think what he's asking more is if you're on a 50 mile an hour road,
Is it herky jerky?
it would be weird for me because you'd have to turn the throttle so far, and when I want to decelerate, I mostly let most of the way off. You think about it, when you shut off, you shut all the way off. If you shut off on the gas bike and it's weird because you shut off on the electric bike, it's a long ways to bring the speed back up. Where on the gas bike, I don't feel like I have to turn the throttle as far.
Gas bike. Electric bike, you have to
turn the throttle farther because the throttle position seems to be a lot more relative to the speed. Like when I was riding on the trail, I was shutting it all the way off, and I quit doing that. I quit shutting it all the way off and kind of went to more. I found a kind of a medium position where I was so it was instant, because if you shut it all the way off, it goes into regen, number one, and then it's a long ways to get it before it starts pulling again.
Is that your experience?
Yes and no. I mean, it's like, I'm just trying to think about how they do like throttle to output, like in what ratio, because they probably run like a PID loop, off of here's the input, here's what I'm doing. So I'm assuming like if you're letting off the throttle, if you're on the throttle and you let off, I bet the throttle backs off until it meets your current throttle input to start applying the same amount of power that you backed off to. It's not like a constant thing. Like the throttle in acceleration wise, like when he talks about like CV transmission too, like coming from riding snowmobiles, the electric bike is so 1-to-1 with your throttle to your rear tire. Like it feels very equal across, I'm giving it 10% here, and it really feels like you're putting 10% to the tire. Like with a snowmobile, it's like I have to give it, like my snowmobile clutch engages at 3,800 RPM. So there's no delay or that tension coming out of the belt. There's no losses, going from throttle to tire, other than, like your chain and then the gears.
On the electric bike.
Yeah.
But on a CVT, there is a lot of loss.
Oh yeah. Like between the belt, you got your main shaft, your secondary clutch, your primary clutch. And then like on a snowmobile, it goes across to another belt that drops down to another shaft that goes to drivers, that goes to your track.
Yeah.
And like this electric bike is, straight out of the motor to one more gear through a shaft that goes to your sprocket, your drive sprocket. And then you're off to your rear tire via the chain like any other bike.
Yeah, it's super 1-to-1, but that's the weird thing is like it seemed like to bring the speed back up, I just had to turn. It wasn't like there was any lag. It just took more throttle than it's kind of funny because it's so responsive. I don't want like what we call a more aggressive throttle.
Maybe you're just more timid about it, getting it back to that position.
I'm sensitive about it.
That's
I know
what I
about
mean.
You called me timid.
Yeah. Well, I'd call you a lot of other things, but it's a family show. Speaking of that,
it was. I started the show with the F word tonight.
I see the end of this comment.
Hey, was
which
I
is
kind of an a-hole when I got started on the show tonight?
Yeah.
I no comment.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So I can only see the end of another comment.
I'm blaming it all on George because I know
it's a factually correct thing that happened.
Victor has a question. He asked what happened to my Dodge truck. What does he want to know?
Well, it's factually correct that Jimmy blew a tranny last week or something.
No, I didn't. I cracked a transmission pan. That's not the same as blowing a tranny. The tranny still works just fine. So, family show, George.
So you call your truck Dimples.
Yeah.
Does your tranny have a name?
Dodge.
Yeah, it's like an 8-speed or something like that. It's 8-speed tranny.
Yeah, that's a work in progress, Victor. I think he's going to show up at the Rebel Rally with 2 gallons of ATF.
Let's get to the
have their mechanics.
Let's get back to the comments here. I got it's in one of these things here. Here it is, right here. Let's see. Oh, here's where we get into the. Okay, so Michael Shea says,
I encourage anyone who wants to see something crazy to go to watch Eddie Carlson's 2025 Romaniacs Silver Class Prologue Helmet Cam footage. It's unreal. I hope I can ride one of these someday. So I think we touched a little bit on that.
If you go to Grangeville and you find Ryan or Riley, he'll probably let you ride his bike.
He likes to send it though, huh?
He's a good rider. You're
he'll
not.
Send it.
I tell you what, I was holding him up the whole time we were riding. Hey, Riley, how many people have ridden your bike?
Probably upwards of 15, getting close to 20.
Yeah, he's not afraid to share, but he said he was happy to let me ride his motorcycle. Most people like, you're not going to thrash it, are you? He never even asked that.
All right.
What's the next one?
At John Colm 4337. You get used to the handbrake in one ride. No warm-up needed.
I digress.
What? I did a ride at 6:30 the other day from my house. I wouldn't have considered that with my 300 two-stroke before and been that guy waking up the neighbors. Did the same 3.5-hour ride, something maybe with my 21 300 two-stroke, and ended up with about the same left in the tank, 25% battery, and I would regularly do the same ride. Read more.
Oh, we'll read more.
So I think he's saying he did 25% of his tank left or 25% battery in the same ride. Playing with the regen map's pretty cool. More regen for tighter trails. You don't even have to brake. No regen for flowy trails. They're super fun. Yeah.
So we set the regen one at 100%, one at 70%, and what was our other one at? Like 30 or something percent, Riley?
Yeah, around 35.
So I was going down that hill 100%. Like if I were really trail riding, I would have one set at 100%, maybe the farthest map up there, just so if I knew I was going to be on a long downhill, maybe even on a road, you know, where I could, you know, it's like a steep road, I could just use it to kind of help the battery life a little bit, but it was too much, unless it was super steep, and then you didn't have to touch it all. At 75%, every once in a while I had to touch the and I'm sitting here with my fingers actually touching the front brake, and I never had to touch the rear brake because it was always, you know, dragging. That 75% was enough. But you could and I'm sure that controls, you know, like even with the Enduro bike, you can do it and for $12.99 a month, you can do it at 100 RPM a month. I don't know how that's going to go over with motorcycle people. I really don't.
It's going that way with cars and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, your car comes with all the features, but then you're going to find some kid that knows how to hack this stuff, and he'll give it to you for $100.
This is like the cable guy you used to have to find to hack your cable box so you didn't have to pay for it.
Right.
So does it have traction control?
No.
I bet they can engineer it right.
I bet they could.
Just need a front wheel speed sensor and a rear wheel.
You don't even
sensor,
need it.
Wouldn't you?
It'll know rate of acceleration. That's how they do it on all the dirt bikes. Just if the engine RPM increases at a rate that's not proportionate to what traction would be, they can figure this out. If it kind of steps up.
Be sure to fact check everything that comes out of Jimmy's mouth. Got to fact check it.
I feel like the regen thing could hurt you too. I feel like if you had it on 100% and you're on a dry downhill with maybe an off camber corner that had a slope in it, and you let off the throttle and you're over the front, I bet you could wash the rear end out pretty quick.
Well, then you just come back on the throttle a little bit and it goes away.
Well, you'd hope so. I mean, it depends how fast you are or how fast you're going or whatever. I know if you turn up the regen to like 60%, you hit a jump, that thing wants to dive the front end when you let off it's like a brake tap.
But how good would that be for scrubbing?
See, flat track.
The regen?
Yeah, if you came off the jump and just chopped it at that last second to scrub, that'd be sick.
I'd have to mess with it.
Okay, get a video. Just have your filmer. You get your filmer to make sure you have multiple. You have one on. You have your Insta360. By the way, Riley put the link for the Insta360 his camera thing in the chat. No. You didn't?
I'll have to grab it.
Okay. So if you had your Insta360 on you when you did it, and then you had your filmer getting the other side as you're working on this, try different levels of regen, you could be the regen king of Stark World for all the guys that want a moto with it, because you give them the setting, because nobody like, you know how you didn't want to set your sag, or everybody wants to know the settings.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you tell them the settings. And when you get that one Super 6 scrub, you say, this is the setting for Super 6 scrubs. Okay? And then the 3 or 4 crash videos you get out of it, because I understand how difficult this could be, doing scrubs with regen, that's where you're going to get your views. It's a win-win.
Okay, John Depperschmidt, 8984. Thanks for the first ride. The industry has been resistant to change. Hopefully something more in-depth follows. No real comment on rideability or the adaptability to the handbrake, nor how easy it is to ride longer.
I think all that opinion informs with more time ridden, though. Not for, I mean, what'd you ride it for? Like an hour? Maybe.
Yeah, and everybody was talking about that because I did complain about it, and I'm just because I've tried it. Even on mountain bikes, I don't switch my brakes. You know, so I'm still bicycle style on my mountain bikes, and maybe I need to switch those so that I just get more accustomed to having the rear brake on the. And here's the other thing: I don't know my right from my left very well. I have to think about it a little bit. So, which side is it? It's on the left. The rear brake. No.
On the
Right.
Oh, for the
On a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get confused. Anyways,
right.
yeah, I don't know. So this is why I don't.
It's on
so,
the right.
Okay, I just can't get used to it. I'm just so I'm a motorcycle guy, and I just want my brake pedal and my brake pedal. I would like to have them both. In all honesty, I have a couple bikes that have the Recluse rear brake set up with the clutch, and I have two levers. I have a clutch and a thing. That's where a Clake could work if you could ever set it up. But anyways, back to
That's the biggest complaint I've heard too, is like I've about 3 people that ride bicycles. When they ride this, they're like, I wish the rear brake was on the right. And I'm like, absolutely no way in my mind am I going to come off a dirt bike and be like, I'm going to have my rear brake on my right, my front brake on my left. Like I'd be so goofed up.
And I'm able to go between my bicycle and my motorcycle without any problems. But maybe if I switched them, then I would get more used to having the brake on the other side. I don't know.
Maybe you should just have somebody like me blind switch all that stuff around. You just get on it and ride like hell.
And I can
then
do
you
that.
Get used to it.
No, I can do that,
Yeah,
but then I have to check. I have to check myself. It doesn't happen right away, but the problem is when I panic.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden you go into instinctive mode,
Instinct, muscle memory,
and then you do the wrong thing, and then you go flying over the handlebars because you grab too much front brake. Let's see. Which one are we at now?
Well, I think we skipped that one that was just highlighted. Stark really needs to get Jimmy the bike. Yabba.
Yeah, Stark needs to get me a bike. I don't know. I pissed somebody off over there. I obviously. We'll see. Now that
is that a surprise? That you pissed somebody off over there? You know, look at how you treated these guys when they came up. Get the fuck out of here! I can't get this shit working.
I told him to shut up, didn't I?
Can't get no. That's just,
I'm focused on the mission.
That's just Jimmy. Like right, you're.
But my job
task oriented.
My job is to test a vehicle or something like that, and I want to do it properly. And they were trying to tell me how to do it. They did not want me riding, which I did, and I didn't want to. If they gave me that motocross bike, if they gave me Riley's bike, I never would have taken it trail ride. I would have just taken it straight to the track. I may have ridden around the track a bunch and go, God, this thing can be pretty good off road, which it was. I mean, for a motocross bike. So
you're mission oriented, Jimmy. You're not career oriented. You're mission oriented.
No, I'm artistic.
Out pressing flesh, you know, being this guy
Hyper.
that's schmooze and trying to get this. You're career oriented, and I heard that about military people. You're mission oriented people, leaders, but career oriented leaders
You better
are
be
usually
quiet before I
shot.
kill you.
They're usually shot by their own troops, Jimmy. So be glad that you're mission oriented.
Oh, it's happened.
What are your thoughts about not having a clutch? I realize it's not needed, but did we just read that?
We kind of covered that. Yeah. He says involve clutch work, including killing the drive like whiskey throttle situation.
I kind of like a clutch because sometimes my brain doesn't tell me to do this, but it might tell me to do that.
So now we're back to instinctive.
Yeah.
And that's where my foot goes down. See, when I ride, I rarely turn the throttle too far, but when I do use clutch and brake to fix it. I mean, it's just
right.
it's just
when
what
you make a mistake on one, you compensate with the other.
Yeah, what I've learned, but the brake is the one that really works, because like a lot of times by the time you go for the clutch, it's too late.
It'd be funny if they had a bunch of cameras with all like a view
on
of
the controls,
a view of you stabbing that air brake with nothing there, and what was going on with the rest of the bike. Then your heart rate monitor where it blips, and you go, oh shit, what the hell?
What was the other thing I told you, Riley? How much? I told you how many times I did the Can you turn that down? Is there
No,
a down button?
you got
on
to
it?
turn this down.
Well, it's yeah, but then we chop all you are is a mustache.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. How many times I tell you I was air shifting?
Oh, a lot.
I
Every
was
time you
pissed
pull
off,
up, you're
and
like, I was still trying to crank gears.
we'd slow down, we'd talk, we'd kind of pull up to each other, and we talk for a
Click
second,
another one
which is
up.
really easy to do on a 302 stroke. It's 0 RPM, and an electric bike. It's not making any noise. We kind of just pull up and just sit there and jabber, and I'd go roll it on, and I go "Ooh," like that. I back off the throttle, and I do an air shift, and I go fuck, and because I wanted to go faster, but I didn't want the RPM to go up. So I could actually see, if we're talking about like clutches, I would rather see a transmission before I'd rather see a clutch. I mean, they probably come together, but who knows?
Yeah, you've been into the trannies lately. It seems.
Yeah, into the. Let's see. Michael Shea says, I'm honestly kind of curious about this too. It's obviously possible to do
We on
anything
trannies again?
on this bike, but you can do a regular dirt bike. Eddie Carlson just won a Romaniac Silver Class on an enduro model, but I think the clutch can act as a safety net for amateur riders as they're learning. I'd
That's
be
where I'm
curious because of a lack of that is like, let's see. Great riders will have the throttle control and it won't really matter for them, but I think it's an interesting consideration.
That's what I'm
exactly
talking
what we're
about.
saying. Yeah. He's a,
Even then, for the intermediate riders, I don't really think the clutch is too big of a deal when you can barely get close to getting hurt when you turn it down to like 10 horsepower. If you're trying to learn, you turn it down to 10, get used to 10, you can bump it up to 20, get used to 20. And even then, you got to work hard if you're going to pop the front end up at 20 horsepower on the bike, so you can do all the horsepower things.
You got to wonder too, when a guy's bitching about the clutch lever, is that because he got on it and rode it across the parking lot and screwed around and, air grabbed the clutch for the clutch a couple times or whatever, if he's really spent a day on the thing and kind of adapted.
It took about like 30 horsepower before the front wheel started coming up
on its own, without like applying pressure and really trying to make it come up.
Yeah, like you go to like when we were like 35 or something like that. If you just turn the throttle all the way, the front end comes up. And when it was at 80 or 50, even when we were 48 or whatever it was, if you go boop, you just do the little thing that you would ordinarily do. Like you get on the 300 and it feels very lackadaisical and very dead after you get off that thing. But at that like 40 some horsepower, you go boop like that. It tires up. It's more if you do it right, it goes. If you do it wrong, your body position's wrong or something, it just spins. And so I don't
wait till the wheelie boys get them in your neighborhood.
Then I won't hear them.
They're probably.
Let's see. And he says they talk about the electronic clutch now. It's not a wet clutch like the EM trials bikes have, so you can rev the motor and use that inertia to launch up something. Have you tried just from a dead stop, just launching, like splattering and stuff?
I have on like logs, like going up a hill or something. You need that initial. I feel like I'd be better. I think once I really learn how to do it, or maybe you get that sweet subscription of adjusting power modes, but being able to get that initial inertia and dump it.
You need to call up Stark and tell him you're working for Dirt Bike Test now. You're advising us on how a Stark works, and you need to test that out. Otherwise, we'll just say it sucks.
Hasn't Paul spent time on these electric bikes? Neff?
The EM? I don't know.
He'd be a good one.
Electric motion,
talk about those moves and stuff.
Yeah. So, watch the IRC Tire Guys videos. He does hard enduro obstacles back to back with gas bikes and the Stark and explains in detail the differences. He is still able to do bigger blips and bigger obstacles. Just applied his techniques to all throttle control. That makes sense.
Is that it?
No, it's just Stark videos.
Oh,
that's all the Stark comments. We got to go back to the other ones where people say how good I am at doing this show. I don't like to talk about myself too much, but there we go. Let's see.
That's old.
These
stuff.
are all their other stuff. I don't really care about this stuff anymore. What was the clear gas tank in one of the Honda IMS 2.6 gallon tanks? Yeah, it was a clear gas tank.
He just said it, an IMS 2.6 gallon tank.
Yeah.
What was the clear gas tank? Clear. It wasn't black. It wasn't what?
He wants to know if it was IMS's 2.6 gallon tank. I don't know. Ask Trevor. This is a Trevor question. He's supposed to answer these things.
Just say yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing on the show, answering all the questions. Okay. Riley, do you have any other questions for us here on this show? We lost you again, didn't we? Did we?
Just the old video. But that's all right.
Yeah. Anything else you want to clear up about the Stark?
It weighing 270 pounds isn't bad until you end up in a point of like halfway tipping over. You're like, this thing's heavy. And I mean, it's like, don't tip over as much, but.
And when you, so people are also said like, well, why was this bike laid over? Because you said the kickstand is a work of art.
Oh, it's an absolute pile. Like everyone that owns one breaks them off.
Okay, but, so the kickstand's not that good. The good thing is you can lay it over and nothing's going to leak out of it.
Yeah. Like it doesn't, I mean, I crash the bike all the time. Like why not? I can just lay it on the ground. I don't really care.
But when I picked it up off the ground, it wasn't crazy heavy. I wasn't.
No.
I mean, I'm used to picking up like fully prepped adventure bikes, and that's horrible. But even like when my KTM 500 has a big 5-gallon tank on it, it wasn't any worse than that. It wasn't bad.
No, it's like, like it's 270 pounds just as it sits. It's not like, I mean, your KTM with the bigger tank, a chainsaw, etc., is probably getting in the 250 range, maybe.
Yeah.
What do they weigh stock? They're like 234 pounds wet, maybe. A KTM 300 is. But as far as weight goes, it's not that big of a concern. Riding it, you definitely don't feel it because you don't have any of that rotating mass from a crankshaft, a piston, etc., in the center of the bike. So you don't feel it in a lot of that stuff.
As you accelerate, as you rev it up, it doesn't get that much heavier. I mean, you feel the wheel inertia, but you definitely, it's kind of like a two-stroke. Like two-strokes don't get that much heavier as you rev them up. Like a four-stroke, especially a 450, really does.
Yeah, like when you go, like if you go corner on a four-stroke at, 8,000 RPM in second gear versus going to third or even fourth gear and lugging through a corner, you're like, oh wow, this bike handles so much better. It's like that bike handles that good all the time, regardless of what you're doing. Without having such a wound up motor, crank, or weight in the center of the bike. But I really think the bike is, like, for me as a casual rider, it's been really nice to wash it, charge it, and then ride it. And then I put, coming up on 28 hours on it in the span of, I've had it for like a month and a half, almost coming up to 2 months. And like, I barely put hours on my Honda because, I mean, knowing my Gosler, you start getting, somewhat anal about your bikes of like, I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to grease the linkage. I got to do my air filter. I got to change the oil. I got to do the oil filter, et cetera, et cetera.
How many air filters have you done on the Stark?
Oh, I think none.
Yeah, zero.
But now one, which is nice too. You go to like Fossil Bowl, that track, it's a dusty track. At the end of the day, and you start blowing out berms in front of your buddies, and their air filter is absolutely caked. Their filter's ruined. But I think it's a good bike for casual people that want to go maximum. If you're going slow on single track, probably 40 miles. If you're riding double track and you're getting on it, 25 miles. I think it's a good addition, but it's not the solution.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's kind of like where I've been with a lot of electric stuff. I have motocross bikes, I have enduro bikes, I have dual sport bikes, I have rally bikes, I have adventure bikes. I don't really cross pollinate. I use the bike for what it's designed, and I could see myself having an electric bike. I mean, I don't need one right now because it kind of fits in there at some point. I don't know what it exactly be good at, but I tell you what, if I lived in an urban area where I needed to get out, and like the guy was saying, I want to go riding at 6:30 in the morning. He was talking about the morning, right?
Yeah.
6:30. I don't even know what time that is. I don't get up till like noon. Like only if the waves are good, then I go surfing. But it's a long ways from the ocean, so it never happens. Anyhow, well, Riley, hey, I want to thank you for A, letting me ride your bike, B, taking me out on some pretty fun trails, and also coming on the show. Thanks for some good insight on that, and thanks for answering some of the questions on the YouTube videos for me. Did you put your Insta 360 link up in the chat yet?
I did do it earlier.
Good. Because
and we're actually going to go cut that entire trail out too.
Oh, down out of that canyon?
Yeah, out of that creek. It actually goes off to the left, past that tree. Goes to the left and then out.
It goes down. Okay, right.
There's two
left.
stretches of it because where we got to that tree, and then we went across the creek.
Right.
Yep, it goes to the left too. But the other advantage on that Stark, what I've realized, if you download OnX, you can download a route, and then you can just sit there with your dashboard showing you your trail that you're on. That you've lined out, so you don't have to sit there and pull out your phone, and then
you don't need to have a Trail Tech Voyager
tech
mounted on your handlebars. By the way, Trail Tech, a sponsor of the show, they're really upset that you just said that, but that's okay because
I still think the Trail Tech has its advantage though over that. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, and
the Trail Tech obviously has its purpose in place.
You could be riding a Yamaha. That'd be better too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure riding a Yamaha. I don't know why I would say that. I've done since I seen you, I've done 450 miles on my Tenere. I'm going to put a postcard from my Tenere up on my Instagram in the next couple of days. So just be looking out for that. Hey, what's your Instagram, Riley?
RY_POX.
So go follow Riley. He's a hoot. I hate crash videos. I know they told you like that one, and I did put one at the end of the video. People said, "Did you crash that?" And I'm like, "It wasn't me."
Was that idiot kid I was riding with?
No, that on the video that looks nothing like what really happened.
Never does.
What do you mean?
That was gnarly. What you hit, that log?
Oh, it was big.
Yeah, it was really bad. It doesn't look that bad in the video because I saw it.
No,
he had just when I got there, he had just turned around and come back, and I saw the height of the log and where it was laying across the trail. Yeah, bad times. So, anyways, if you haven't watched it, we played it at the beginning of this video. Watch the bike tests. For sure, comment, like, share. We need to have we need 25 million viewers before we can make a nickel off this stupid podcast. But anyways, I think that's most of the questions we wanted to answer. George, you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. We're a little over 2 hours into it. That's usually when I'm going on the nod on the other end of this show. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people like the Jerry Counts.
I like that.
Yeah. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. I'm pretty sure this is going to get really low ratings because you were on it.
Could be. Jerry's a good guy.
Or is it about an electric bike? Controversial rating.
Yeah, well, I'll promote it over my Grinder channel.
There you go. That's what my picture is. This is my electric bike.
I don't have one that I know of. I think one of my kids that used to work for me set one up for me. So, okay, I'm going to just really quickly recheck to make sure we have, okay, Riley did put his Insta 360 up in the chat. If you don't know where that's at, I'll link it. I'll try to remember to go back, send it to me, and I'll put it up in the comments or the, what do they call it? The description of the video. I'll definitely put it up there. Okay. Victor has, should we really go there?
Victor's six pack in already. They gotta get better and better. Go ahead.
Hey, Dennis says the best Stark and e-bike review. Thank you. Okay, so Riley, thank you for helping out. Victor says, here's an idea: install a clutch lever with a variable potentiometer and a rear foot brake pedal. Maybe then old geezers like me will be interested, and we ain't leaving our 90s shitty gas bikes for an appliance if it doesn't work a little like our clapped out dirt bikes.
It should be hard to start.
Yeah.
All the other stuff.
All right, on.
Mine was hard to start once. I just had to give her 12 volts, though.
If you let it sit with ethanol fuel, do you have to clean the carb before you get it out for summer riding?
Yeah, you got to go through the main jet, pilot, whole 9 yards. Your float's probably stuck. Got to hit it with a hammer.
Hey, this guy knows how to do all that stuff. He's a mechanic.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting his
I
intelligence.
got so tired of it, I bought Electron carb even.
Oh boy. Yep.
Over long, and those, by the way, I think they're pile junk.
Well, then I don't want to say pile of junk. I'm going to say
No,
that
they're just-
if you like throttle response, you don't want that.
No,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't like for the long case use at 34 hours. I don't know what happens inside of it because it's not like a normal carb. Like I think they have a float of some sort, right? It just would sit there and run fuel into your crankcase while the bike sat if the fuel was on, and it wore out really fast. Like boots, seals, anything made out of rubber on those carbs fall apart faster than I think they should.
Right.
But I mean, they're pretty fun for not having to mess with it and go to 9,000 feet to 3,500 feet, etc.
Yeah, I never got a chance to do the big altitude change test on it, so I wouldn't know. So okay, well that's it. I think we're gonna start. We try and wrap up this damn show. George needs to go to bed.
Yeah.
He probably not even gonna find a way back to his house.
Mold.
Yeah. So okay, everybody, thanks for joining in. Thanks to Yamaha, Climb, Bulletproof Designs, Trail Tech, DDC Sprockets.
The Peanut Gallery. We got
The Peanut
Brian Love, who supports Dirt
Yeah,
Bike
I want
Test.
to know how deep of water can you go with the Stark?
How deep of water can you go through with the Stark?
They claim waterproof.
Waterproof. I saw a guy
The
ride it.
foam
I saw a video of a guy
water
ride it. Water, but what about this guy that got shocked? I mean, shouldn't we just keep bringing that up incessantly because it's like just anything that goes wrong with the
In
motorcycle?
Thailand, they're riding up through the rice paddies, and then they collect all the dead fish and take them home and eat them.
If you got 360 volts, which is what the battery is through the handlebars, I don't think you're going to be alive or you're not going to let go of them bars if that happens to you, personally.
Yeah.
That's a new whiskey throttle, 360 volts.
Exactly. So, okay, thanks for joining us, Riley. We'll definitely see you and everybody else out on the trail. So, with that, everybody, there we go. There. George pushed. No, you pushed. But get your hands off that thing. Okay, everybody.
See ya.
Cheers. We'll see you out on the trail.
Thanks to the peanut.
Stop this.
Thanks for the Peanut Gallery.
How do I make this
Jared,
stupid thing stop?
Justin.
It's like I'm trying to cancel this show.
Stop.
If you liked what you saw in this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully, we'll see you out in the trail.